for the week. Okay, so juggling finances a little bit. Also, your emotions are going to cause a physical imbalance. So that can also be why you're feeling this Eight of Swords as well. Everything's just a little off. The Two of Pentacles asks you to have a lightness of being through adversity. And I would also say this Pentacle card has some significance with sexuality as well. So this can be a situation that you're dealing with this week too. And I think we're just trying to keep our physical and financial self in balance, but trying to take a lighter approach to it, which is good, I think, because with the emotional situation and the mental situation, you don't need any more of that. But I would say there could be like an imbalance with your legs or your hips in this case. And I think it has to do sort of with how we walk, how we stand, our posture, that sort of thing. Sometimes one leg is longer than the other one. That could also have something to do with it, but there just feels to me for this week that there can be a leg or a hip imbalance, or where the leg and the hip meet, that kind of thing. And I feel like, well, I'm going to have a look. Okay, well, we'll clarify the more difficult cards in a minute. Let's tie in everything with your spirit card. This is your spiritual nature, but also what spirit wants you to know in regards to this week and the situation. Okay, so you have the moon. There'll be a lot of feelings and sensations and kind of overall weirdness to the week. The moon is can be deceptive, but I do think that this lunar phase is bringing up some insecurities and some deep subconscious things that need to be looked at. And once you do look at them, you just become aware of them. They have no more hold over you. And I think that's what's happening with this entire lunar phase, as far as I'm concerned. But you do have spirit with you. There can be dogs in the mix this week for some reason. All right, let's look a little bit deeper here. So how can we counteract the Four of Cups, or, how should we deal with it? What's the best way to bring that into balance? Well, half of 4 is 2. So it is about partnerships. It is about uniting with somebody. Now, whether that's on a romantic level, it doesn't have to be, but it certainly is emotional. So it feels to me like a partnership needs a little RX, needs a little healing. And that can also be on an internal level. The two male, female energies or forces within also need to unite or to find common ground, because I think they're kind of fighting with each other right now, is my feeling. And so on an internal level, it's sort of finding the commonality between two opposites. And if you can't find the commonality, just allowing them to coexist side by side. It's kind of accepting our other side for what it is. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that. The Eight of Swords, and how do we counterbalance that? With our intuition. Uh, the High Priestess is about things going on in the background that you don't know. Understanding that even though you can't see it, something still exists. And it may be a bit secretive, might be mysterious at this moment. And I would also say with the Eight of Swords, in your thinking, you think that there is something going on. Your intuition is telling you that it probably is. And so I feel like you're kind of in between situations. And that kind of goes along with the Two of Cups for me. It's like in between time. And so in between time, nothing really moves. There's no forward, there's no backward. It's just that stuck in between time. But it is your intuitive self that is giving that message. So I don't think you're wrong. I think this is a time not to act just yet. And especially with the King of Wands there, that impulsive action. I mean, unless you aren't worried about the consequences, do what you got to do. It's your energy, right? And energy is given to you for a reason. Just because we feel or think that it's wrong doesn't mean that it is. So with the Two of Pentacles and how to balance, you have, again, a Two of Wands. So it is about decision-making, partnerships, that sort of thing. Two of Wands with the Two of Pentacles. You're dealing with, again, that fiery, external, outgoing male energy. You could be trying to figure out on a financial level what your next move is, where you belong in the earth, on the earth, with people, on humanity's level. It's just sort of looking out into the... So it's kind of like if the Ace of Wands is you have a new passion, a new idea, the Two of Wands is sort of like, what do I do with it? Where does it fit? Where will it go? How does it fit into the world at large? That kind of thing. And, you know, finding somebody to partner. I feel like there is sort of one thing that's been established and a second thing that kind of needs to find its place in the world. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. I think with the Two of Wands, it is about looking outside of yourself for a solution. All right. I hope this has been helpful. I will be back in... I'll be back in a week with your lunar forecast. Thanks for listening. Bye.